Welcome back to Ran-DomU University, where if you're looking to earn a degree in psychology from this university, just know that your future is going to look a whole lot like this.
I'm Justin Jedlicka, I'm 33 years old, and I'm a stay-at-home husband. I've had 132 cosmetic procedures. Nose job, lips, cheeks, forehead, pec implants, bicep implants, tricep implants, buttock augmentation. I don't know what else I forgot.
Yeah, can you imagine having 132 basically of anything? Like if you were to inject yourself with heroin 132 times, or if you were to take like 132 straight shots of alcohol. More than likely your body or you would not survive these things. Just saying, most bodies are not meant to go through this. Like I don't know what it's like or how it would feel to know that 95% of my fiber and being was just silicone or just filled with like bags of gelatin or anything like that. Like if you were to like walk and your quads just weren't muscle and 90% of you was just made of black bags and rubber. I don't know how that's really beneficial towards you or anything that you do. To know that you've actually put in zero hard work in your life and that's why you look the way you do. You've never done an actual push-up. You never actually did a burpee. You've never jumped over any actual hurdles or played any sports. You've done nothing that should make you relevant or look anything like you do, which is quite ridiculous to say the least. If you look at this man with his swollen lips and his weird shaped head and all of that, and I mean, I'm not going to get into his personality though. I'm telling you, when you find out later in this video what they got going on in this mansion, Jesus Christ, you start wondering like what is going on there. Like I heard of bathhouses for women, which I mean, I guess that's just me coming from a guy or whatnot. It's not as weird if you see a bunch of chicks, even though if I saw a bunch of chicks in this house that I see later in this video, it would still be kind of odd. Like what's going on here? I'd be more excited, but I mean, it would still be like, what is going on here? So like when you see this mansion full of dudes in this house called like, I guess for the god of Aztecs or whatever it is weird to say the least. And the doctors in this series, well, I'm going to introduce you to them very shortly. But before that, like, share, and subscribe to the channel as we're trying to get to our quest of 10K. As, boy, I tell you what, it seems like it's going to be a long time before we get there, but hopefully you enjoy this content enough. Share it. Send it out there to your friends if it's any good. And, well, let's go ahead and cue the intro. Now, as a psychiatrist, one must ask themselves, why would someone get plastic surgery? Now, I do get it personally if you have one of those noses that bends and loops around like you're going around a mountain, or if you're taking a harsh turn around on a roller coaster, or if you have a chest that's like Glorilla's and it's just flat and bare as can be, and you're just like, you know what, if I'm a woman, I should have some titties. Maybe not something massive, but there should be at least bumps there to at least acknowledge, what sex I am. But now, if you don't care about that kind of stuff, that's okay too. But it's just when it comes down to like, I want to look like a person that doesn't even exist anywhere on the planet. They don't even exist in anime or in superhero cartoons or comic books or anything like that. They just look made up. Like these people look artificial. I want to always look real. Like personally, like even if I deteriorate and start looking really old and look really pruny, like some old raisins, like it's on a Sun-Maid box or something like that, that's fine. A little disappointing, but you know what? Life goes on. I will have to figure some other things out. I don't want people to look at me and think, wow, this person sure has a lot going on, where they look at you and they're just stunned. They don't know what to say. And not in one of those moments where they're like stunned by silence, where they look at you and like in Not Another Teen Movie, where you're so beautiful like the woman in it that time stops itself. That's not what's going on here. People just don't know what to say to you because quite frankly, they are confused and they want to know what's going on in that head of yours. Like what's going on in that noggin? Like if there's anything going on in that noodle up there, it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, or the insecurities go way beyond the fact that you don't think you look good. Like I just don't understand why somebody literally would want to make themselves look like this. Or all the people that are involved in your life always give you that weird look where it's like, I don't know if this person looks stupid or if they are stupid, because that's one of those things where you start really questioning a whole lot. I don't know how you invite this person somewhere and be like, you don't have to explain it to all the people at the party. Like he's somebody who's always going to stand out and it's not going to necessarily be for good things. I don't want to be that person, and neither should you. But we're trying to think about the psychology of this situation. Why would somebody do this? Now, after reading and getting myself involved and seeing all the books that we have here at Random University on psychology and the psychosis of the mind and why the brain works and why people have the insecurities they do, I don't know. I have no idea why somebody would want to look like this. This person claims that they are an artiste.
I think of plastic surgery as art. If I do enjoy this as an artistic expression.
Somebody who is actually out there trying to sculpt themselves into being an actual Greek god, which is absurd. At some point in time, you need to have actual muscles. Like personally, I don't know if this is a real photo or if this is CGI. Like this person looks like he could literally have butter slide right down his face. Like Vaseline wouldn't even stick to this person. You couldn't even put lotion on this person because he's already lotion. Like it feels like this person is as lubed up as you possibly, you know what? Never mind. I already got bad images in my head of what I'm going to see later, or at least what I'm going to show you later, because I've already watched this. And then, boy, I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure they use a lot of lotion in this, in their lifestyle, to say the least. Now, you can already tell that this person is probably a really annoying patient to have. Yes, because he's already, at least he admitted it though. At least he said it himself that he's probably not the most fun for the doctors to be around because he's a person who wants to tell you how to do your job as you're doing it. And it's like, have you really cut somebody open and started putting in implants? Or are you just somebody who's done a lot of the research, you know, things like that?
And in fact, I've started doing some of my procedures half awake now. They hate it because I'm like, move that up a little more, turn this a little way that. They don't really enjoy me being awake to critique their work.
Any doctor who's probably going to jack you full of like shark cells or anything like that, then guide them through that process, especially if they got one of them BS cosmetic degrees like at, you know, the University of Phoenix or DeVry or something like that, or Random University. Excuse me.
Right now I'm working on abdominal implants, 2-piece quad implants, 2-piece calf implants, and lat implants, the wings on the back. I think that field is just underdeveloped.
This man wants to start growing wings. Now I understand wings is technically part of your back, but why do I have this feeling that one day he's going to actually want wings? If you've already had 132 surgeries, what's to say that you don't want to actually fly next? At some point in time, this guy's going to have an actual jetpack strapped to him, or he wants to have wheels attached to where his feet are, or anything like that just gets even more cartoonish. Why doesn't he just go ahead and turn into the actual roller coaster himself? Now I know I'm being a tad facetious and a tad bit silly when I'm saying, when you go to the doctor, how do you break this to him? Like, hey, doc, I would like to fly. Like, I know I have room for wings in the back, but is there any way you can turn me into the vulture and literally make me go out into the sky and, you know, terrorize the town and make sure I throw bombs everywhere? Or just be somebody who can just do something that nobody else can. I really believe I can do that. I've already sculpted every other part of my body, or at least I've had you guys do it. So why can't y'all help me out and just let me literally spread my wings and go out there? I don't know how you spread that image, like, or spread that message and make them believe that it's possible. Now, I believe if you go to the right country, if you go to Tijuana or Guatemala or one of these other crazy foreign countries where somebody, or Mexico, where they're going to be like, hey, well, we'll find somebody for you. Don't worry. I mean, if you talk to this guy, or we'll inject some shark cells into you and turn you into an actual bird. He might actually do that at some point in time, which is not too far-fetched, I believe. Once you have this many surgeries, I believe you might start believing anything is possible.
This is a sickness of the highest order.
You know, I'm starting to regret those comments I made earlier about his lips. I believe his lips are eventually going to get to the point where they look like this, where they look absolutely absurd, where it looks like somebody injected him full of helium, or he got the hell beat out of him on the street, or like Mike Tyson met him in an alley somewhere. That's what I believe is what it's going to look like at some point in time, because they are starting to look a little bubbly and a little rubbery, and his face is looking worse the more I really observe. You know, I went through this once, but I should have probably went through this again before I even made this video, but I kind of like doing it the way I did it. But this guy is looking very questionable, and he's talking about how, you know, can you be great? I don't see anything great about injecting and having everybody sculpt every part of your body. You put in no work.
And to sort of disprove what a lot of these doctors have told me over the years, never gonna look right, you know, you're gonna hurt yourself doing this. I always tell them, you know, nobody who's ever done anything great in their life didn't have to take a risk.
Having surgery isn't putting in the work. Sort of like those people that are breaking their legs to get taller. That's still happening, by the way. People are still breaking their legs to get taller out there, and I'll make another video on it very shortly. But I'm telling you that this stuff is kind of absurd. Like, you didn't put in work for this. You didn't work for this. You just paid money. That's not work. Now, you worked hard to get the money, probably, depending on what your lifestyle is or what you do for the money. But I mean, even if you were out there on the streets, you know, earning that money, you did work for it. So you earn money, unless it's in an inheritance, you probably work for it. So I'm going to give you that. But now, other than that, I'm going to say that this is not hard work. This is pathetic. Mental health.
This is a sickness of the highest order.
Your arms, you don't want to have to keep on doing it like 5 times and cut your stomach open.
There's like a year of my life trying to get that thing right. I'm kind of building a Superman suit, and just instead of fabric, I'm using skin and muscle.
Oh yes, everybody's aware that you're using skin and muscle instead of like, fabric and everything else, but that's worse. Using more skin and muscle, well, unless you're developing more muscle and getting so big that you have extra skin like Lisa from my 600-pound life videos, you're not going to have but only so much. At some point in time, you're going to have to start taking it off of like, well, dead people or animals. And is that really the look that you want to go for? Because it's not going to grow into you the way you think it will. At some point in time, you might start posing infection, and then you start getting gangrene or some other weird, diseases like hepatitis, things that will kill you. And I don't think this person strikes me as somebody who would like to die. This person strikes me as somebody who wants to find a way to live forever. Sort of like that guy who, spent like $60 million to make sure that he lived forever, which I think we have a video on our channel already about that. Like this guy who literally spent just millions on millions of dollars to try to preserve his youth forever. And he's already an ugly enough dude. And it's like, I don't even know why you're wasting the time, homie. Like, just age gracefully and die like the rest of us. I mean, come on, man. It's going to happen. I mean, I know some of us want to put ourselves in this freeze chamber like we're Walt Disney or something like that, but I mean, we just need to accept it. Like, we're gonna bite the dust. Now, until they start finally coming out with those artificial hearts and stuff like that that'll keep you pumping for a long time, and even at that point in time, you gotta start thinking like, well, what good is that? I mean, if I got an artificial heart and I got it at 78, do I just want to live on and on and on for years in this 78-year-old body? Now, I get it if you got it like in your 30s or 40s or something like that, where it's like, I can imagine being like this for another 50 years. I get that. But if you're already, kind of up there and you don't like the way you look, I just don't get it. Now, I guess at that point in time, now I'm thinking to myself, I guess you could just start getting so much plastic surgery if you're going to keep living on and on and on, that maybe you can decorate yourself and make yourself look like you're 30 or 40 years younger. You can preserve that youth that way. But I mean, nobody's brought Walt Disney back yet. So I'm just saying, I don't know if this works. There's a lot of people that wrap themselves up like mummies and, well, they ain't came back. They're still dead, and they're more rotten than they would ever imagine. Now, some of those bodies somehow, when they did preserve pretty well, but what's the good of preservation? I mean, the soul's gone. I mean, the soul left. I mean, it left and went to the mysterious beyond, you guys. So I'm just telling you, it is not where you might think it would be.
Well, I'm gonna see 2 more doctors. So we're gonna kind of pick their brain a little bit and see.
And what do you feel like it's gonna get done, or
I'm just gonna see if they're even interested in doing it, because nobody's done it before.
Now, I will say, I don't think he's so delusional to the point where he expects people to do these surgeries. He does have, a decent, head on his shoulders where he's thinking, I need to see if they are actually going to be willing to do it. Because, I think he knows how absurd some of these implants and surgeries that he's had people perform on him are.
I'm trying to work on those abdominal implants.
And how is that coming along?
I changed my mind on it about 4 times already.
Abdominal implants are just crazy to me. Like, you can't just do some crunches for a while. I mean, dang, man, it doesn't take that much commitment to do some crunches. He's already got a slim frame. Like, you already should naturally semi-have abs. But, like, you just want somebody to just put abs in you? I mean, you'd be better off getting those, like, ab shock machines that where you just sit there on the couch and you just turn on the machine and it's supposed to give you abs. I mean, you might as well just get you one of those. I mean, that would be better off than having somebody just, inject or slap 6 bags of silicone in you and just be like, all right, let's hope they hold. If they don't hold, then they might slide somewhere else. Like, ooh, what if they slid down into like your groin or something? Like, that would be, that'd be really strange. Just saying. Now, the other guy he's sitting here talking to over here by the pool is just staring at him like, yeah, sure, buddy. So like, he just has that look on his face that has a lot of doubt, or a lot of either I don't care, or this sounds like an absolutely terrible idea.
I'm trying to make it just through like really low incisions because I don't want people to see it, but I'm just gonna do it subcutaneous under the skin.
Because if you haven't noticed, outside of probably most of the other guys actually look natural. I believe this is the guy who's the only one there that's made up like this. I think the other people actually look like they worked out or whatnot. This guy that's sitting next to, he don't look like he worked out at all. Hell, he's got the stronger hairline like I got going on right now. Like, oh my God, I really hope my barber can get off, soon. But either way, I'll figure something out. Don't worry, homie, take your vacation, enjoy your time off. But I got to figure something out with this hairline, just like dude in this video. Or maybe I'll just get plastic surgery to where I'll never have to redo my hairline ever again, and it'll just always stay perfectly crispy and nice and straight 100% of the time, to where, you know what? I just wake up and I'm perfect every day.
I've had a couple doctors tell me no, not interested.
And what does your mom say about it?
It's hard for me to find someone who's willing to work in tandem. Thank you.
Of course.
appreciate that.
You know what I was talking about earlier? Like, what's going on at this house? Like, seriously, what is this? It doesn't even seem like it's a party. It just seems like this is every day of their lives. And I mean, what do these people do? Like, what are their jobs? Do these people not go to work? I don't know if he's a streamer. I've never heard of anything like that. He doesn't seem like an influencer. I've never heard of him before. So, I don't know who are these other goofy looking guys here at this party or what this pool. It's just really. I'm not judging. I'm not gonna judge. Just odd. Now, some people probably would highly enjoy this place. So, to each their own. I mean, some people probably who watching this video are thinking, "Hey, this is a great location." Just saying, not for me. Just not for me. Yeah. And it's like, it has nothing to do with these guys clearly being gay. It's just like, I don't know. It just feels like there's a lot of weird P. Diddy stuff going on here. Like the kind of stuff that they got involved with, like TD Jakes and all that. Like I said, go do your thing. But I just feel like there's a lot of strange behavior that takes place here. Like a whole bunch of cuckery and a whole bunch of just weird, bestiality type of things taking place here. Like all that stuff that they just write off onto the dark side of the internet where they're like, you know what? That's for the people who are a little bit out there. Like, it's okay to, I guess, to do some things that are a little non-traditional sometimes in life, but sometimes you can go way beyond the playbook, and go way beyond the X's and O's and
Go for it. But just think about it in the long run if you really want it done.
I really want it done. I just don't want it to come out messed up. So that's why I keep reworking those implants. And
just saying, I think that's what's taking place here.
well, I always have a backup plan. So if I can't do the stomach, I was planning on the quads, the calves, and the lats. And I already have them all templated.
How long is that healing process?
That is a fantastic question. Like, how long does it take you to heal from that? So, like the guys who break their legs to try to get taller. I hope people know after they cough up like $150,000 to $250,000 on that ridiculous surgery, just sometimes to get to 2-3 inches taller, that it takes them about another 1.5 to 2 years to start walking and get off the walker and get rid of the limp, where they don't look like they've been, just getting pounded for just days and weeks, to where they have just gotten absolutely wrecked, they just, like they have just spent a long time, either way, I'm just saying they got those kind of limps going on. So like if you had to take a real bad dookie, those kind of limps where you're just like, ooh, it's just kind of squanching side to side. That's what they got going on. Like you got one really in there that you're trying to hold, like you're stuck in, in public, or if like you're in Walmart and you're like 12 people deep in line, and you're like, dude, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to sit here and hold this. Like that's the kind of limp that some of those people have. But just saying, that's a side tangent over there about people breaking their legs, which please to God, don't break your legs to get taller. It's not worth it. Like most of the people who do that, save it for the video, Mike. Save it. But once again, that is a great question. I just don't understand like how long this, recovery process is going to be. Like this dude is talking about literally putting in new glutes, new abs, new traps, triceps, basically a new neck. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to remove his head and try to give him a whole new one. So like they did try to actually do a like head transplant a long time ago.
According to Dr. Canavera, the first stage will involve the patient and donor's bodies being cooled down so the brain cells don't die during the operation. They realized that was not going to work. And then the neck will be partially cut through and the blood vessels will then be connected to the other body with tubes. So far, so simple.
Sounded just as ridiculous as it sounds now. A head transplant.
So simple, yes. I haven't done any of these myself recently, but in theory, every section has a grounding in science and in a certain amount of medical practice.
Like where they remove your head and, attach another one.
Next stage is that the spinal cord is cut with a very sharp knife. To minimise damage, and the donor head is then moved onto the recipient's body, and the spinal cord is fused together.
For each one separate?
Well,
2 weeks.
You 2 weeks, average is like a month.
His friend here is like, dude, you are full of shit.
2 weeks as long as it comes out 90% right, or else we're gonna go back.
Well, let's hope you don't go back.
Like, this is garbage. It is not going to be no 2-week recovery. Do you not realize the extensive, work you're going to have done? This isn't just something you get done and you get back up and you're ready to go tomorrow full charge. Like, no way. And you know what? I really appreciate this guy because this guy is actually trying to genuinely like look out for this man. Like, man, I don't know. if you have a friend that starts suggesting that they're going to go out and start doing a bunch of ridiculous ass stuff, yes, you would hope that you have somebody in your life that's actually going to hold you this accountable. So, you know what? He has some people here at this, this bathhouse or this pool house or whatever's going on here. They're actually trying to genuinely look out for his well-being. And, kudos to them. Because, dude, this is, yeah. I mean, you know what? As a person who's natural like this guy over here, he's just naturally skinny gay guy. I mean, he just whatever he is. He's just like, dude, I'm just who I am. I mean, I accept it. And yeah, that's cool. I mean, dang, I embrace that man. Like, he at least is cool with who he is. He's not like, I'm going to walk around looking like you. I mean, you look silly. I guarantee you he's looking at this man like you look ridiculous. Like, I've seen the looks that he's giving this man throughout this conversation, and I think the whole thing is making him queasy. I mean, just like it makes me queasy just thinking about it. Like, quite frankly, I get the heebie-jeebies when I look at this guy because he just looks creepy. Like, could you imagine seeing this guy like in a dark corner of a room or something like that? He just wouldn't look real. Like, if he just stood still for a while, he'd literally look like a mannequin. Like, if you just saw this man prop himself up like that, yeah, he would literally just look like an actual mannequin. I mean, that's how phony he looks. And I just struggle to understand who wants to do that to themselves. Like, where you just, I mean, as long as you're okay with yourself, right? As long as you're okay with yourself, anything for views.
Don't usually make house calls, but in this case, we're gonna make an exception.
Everybody, let's get in the pool.
Personally, I just think the doctor wanted to really go see what was going on at this house just for himself. Hey, I'm just saying, if he's curious, he's curious. Just saying. I mean, if he did, but it you know what? Can't say. I'm a very curious person. I'd probably want to go find out what the heck's going on over here too. If somebody was basically talking about putting in all these different, implants in, and yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Terry really wanted us to go see Justin. Justin is different. He's got some interesting things to show us.
Mount Olympus,
Mount Olympus.
the home of the Greek gods.
Like me.
Since when are you a Greek god?
I'm a Lebanese god.
Okay. It was Greek gods. Had that wrong from the get-go. Boy, at least I won't have to put that in or fix it in the final edit. I'll just have it fixed right now.
We're there to help Justin with any problems he's having, and maybe try to talk him out of future surgeries.
So Doc has this thing in mind that he really doesn't want to operate on this man. He just simply wants to tell him, you need to stop doing operations altogether, which I believe everybody who has seen that man in that house and probably anybody who's in that guy's life agrees with. They're probably like, please tell this man to stop. He has a sickness.
This is a sickness.
He needs help. Like, at some point in time, he literally will ask for those wings that I was talking about earlier. And that is not a good idea.
Hello, welcome. How are you for Justin?
Yes.
Come on in.
Thank you.
You'll be right now. Thanks.
I'm gonna kill you. Probably in a portal upstairs or something.
My God, I'll be just laying out at the pool, hanging out.
Now, see, that's what I was basically alluding to earlier. I don't know what's going on in this house. I feel like there's some weird, freaky stuff taking off in this house. Like, I mean, there's some odd things, I think, going on, especially upstairs. It may not be happening by the pool, people by the pool. Like he said, just hanging out by the pool. I think so, too. But you don't know what's going on in that big old house. I'm just saying. TD Jakes, P. Diddy, Tyler Perry, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Just all that stuff. Just ew, freak offs. Yeah, that's what's taking place.
I had a bunch of thoughts running through my head. Number one, I want to kill Terry. Two, I knew this was the wrong thing to do. And what are we doing? What's going on in this house that there's someone answering the door in his underwear?
I believe that's a very good question too. So like, I mean, it's okay to be open, I believe. Be comfortable in your life. But dang, I mean, you really gonna come to the door in a Speedo? Like, and dude's butt cheeks halfway out? I mean, obviously you're gonna see all of his junk if there's any there to really begin with. But it's all out there to be observed and appreciated, to say the least, I guess. But yeah, I mean, these are, you know what? Honestly, if Myron from Fresh and Fit was as secure and, if he was as okay with himself as these people are, he wouldn't have issues with women. But then again, I don't think he would have issues with women. I think he actually wants to be in his house with these guys, which that's the part he needs to just admit. But come on, Myron, just admit it. You want to be in the house with these guys right here. And like I said a million times, that is okay. It's okay. And I mean, boy, Mike, somebody's going to have to be like, dude, you got to stop taking these shots at Fresh and Fit. I can't help it. I can't help it. It's like a sickness. It's just a sickness. I can't stop.
It's not their fault. It's mine. I can't stop telling jokes about these things. I don't want to write these jokes, but I just can't stop.
I can't stop.
This is a sickness.
Hi, doctors. Hi. How are you? Nice to meet you, Justin. Hi, nice to meet you as well.
When I saw Justin, I didn't know what to make of him. I didn't know whether he was real or not.
I told you. It's that look.
I was sort of looking for the wires and the buttons or the price tag.
It's that look in their eye where they just look at you like, yeah.
So I've come up with some new plans for quadricep implants, calf implants, and lat implants.
You devised these?
Yeah, I did them myself.
That's insane. Doc is impressed, but he's also like, wow, what the
Was going to be this piece, so it'd be one piece, so it'd be subfascial, we don't have to go submuscular.
He's both Frankenstein and Dr. Frankenstein. He's his own creation.
He is absolutely right about that.
I've never seen anybody design their own plastic surgery like that.
I studied up on the body and made the sketches and found a doctor that was willing to kind of let me do my own thing. And
He is truly Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He is all of it. He is all in one. He is one, human being and monster all at the same time. Though he doesn't quite look like a monster yet. Like he probably will in a few years. Sort of like Larsa Pippen is eventually going to start looking like a monster. And when she does, I guarantee you, Marcus Jordan is going to say, deuces. So, at some point in time, it just happens. When you have that booty that starts turning inside out or falling off, sort of like those women who have those BBLs that's literally falling off into like their lower thighs, that's not a good thing. Just saying, that can't be healthy. Sort of like this guy, like they continue to talk to this man and look on at him in fascination. They look at Justin like, they look at him like he's a creature. Quite frankly, and that's how everybody looks at this man in his life. And it can't be an endearing look. It can't be. There's no way this is something that you want to look like or have people judge you by all the time. So I'm going to spare you the rest of the time or spare you the rest of the video. These guys come to the conclusion, we can't operate on you. Justin's a little bit upset. He thinks it's a little bougie that they won't operate on him, or a little sad and disappointing, but he doesn't, get disrespectful or anything like that. He's just a little butthurt about it, which, no pun intended, but he's just a little sour about it. And I get it. He really wanted these surgeries. So he didn't get them. They were trying to look out for his well-being and said, I don't feel safe doing these because, quite frankly, this isn't the kind of operation he does. This doctor works on titties.
I'm Dr. Terry DeBro. I specialize in head-to-toe plastic surgery.
You know what I'm saying? And the other one does a lot of Botox and other type of surgeries, but they don't do this.
I'm Dr. Paul Nassif, and my specialty is from the neck up. Rhinoplasty, eye lifts, and I do a lot of facelifts.
They don't do this. They trying to actually get him to stop. So, yeah. Well, either way, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Hopefully you enjoyed some of this content today. Once again, I don't know why people decide that they want to go on for these plastic surgeries, or when they do, it becomes such a massive addiction, sort of like an addiction to tattoos. But at least with tattoos, I get it, because tattoos can be artistic as well, like truly artistic, and really look good on people after a while. Now, too many, you start getting all the way deep up into the neck, into the neck, into the face, and you start looking like sexy red, or like everybody says, my goonish blue big brother, blue face or something like that. It doesn't do you very good, stuff like that. I just think there's a point where you just go too far and you just look, ridiculous, and nobody wants to get to that point. Like, I'd rather just be ugly than look stupid, especially if it was man-made and I did this to myself. Like, you can always just like go to the gym, hit the gym. You can spend way less money on a gym membership and just devote some time to go like 30 minutes a day, or just spend time around your apartment or your house or your pool or anything like that, just doing some basic workouts, squats, push-ups, and you will get in shape. I promise. You can chew a lot of gum at the same time, build that jawline, get a much better one than Andrew Tate than he has, and you'll be good to go. Trust me. If you got a bad hairline, now hair implants, stuff like that, that's okay. I get it. Like Myron has a hair implant right now that it looks phony as hell, and I don't get why he does. He talks, once again, insecurities. Just saying, I gotta stop. I
don't want to write these jokes, but I just can't stop.
I'm sorry, you guys. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Have a nice day. See you soon.